Hello, good people, and welcome to Happy Healthy Whole with Sharea. Our next video this week is on setting boundaries as part of your not feeling guilty to get healthy. So we're choosing ourselves without guilt is what I've decided to change. I remember I said last week, I don't know what I'm calling it, but that's what it's going to be called. Choosing yourself without guilt. This is part two of that because last week, even without a name, that's what it was, just giving you permission to get moving, to do something today. Today, we're talking about setting boundaries, right? So when I talk about this, normally I come from the perspective of what can I immediately do to set a boundary so that I can be comfortable in my choices around caring for me. But today, I want you to think about it from the perspective that a lot of people are uncomfortable with boundaries, and that is most of us. So it's not that I'm saying that this is going to be easy, that you should just be able to do this the second you drop or get off of this message, but it's that it's important for you. Many Black women will prioritize, and we talked about this last time, we will prioritize everyone over ourselves and every relationship even over ourselves, our parenthood, our wifehood, or our our sisterhood, our different areas of life that we will prioritize over even ourselves. And so without acknowledging that we need support and we need accommodations to be able to even survive the moments that we're living in, especially right now, I think it's important for us to know that boundaries are helpful, available, and they set a tone of self-respect that says that I am no longer abandoning myself by putting others before me in a way that is about giving people what they need or even people pleasing. So a boundary is not punishment, it's not rejection, and if anything, it's information for both you and the other person that you're giving and or thing that you're doing to put boundaries on. It's giving you information around what is considered healthy for you. And so I wanted to start by really that being the biggest misconception is that it's harmful, it's isolating, and it has to be about cutting someone off. That's not the case with boundaries. And boundaries are not just about another person. Sometimes they are also about ourselves and putting boundaries on who we are and what we do and what we may not do for ourselves. So the reality is that boundaries help us stay safe. They help us to connect with ourselves as well as others. So without boundaries, life can be quite resentful and we can overextend ourselves, find ourselves emotionally exhausted. I'm just thinking of a few things that could happen. I'm sure I'm missing some, but really when we think about boundaries and eventually you start feeling angry when you don't set them or place them, or you have an expectation that people should just treat you a certain way, but you haven't really communicated to them the way or the means in which you wanted to be treated. So that's where boundaries matter the most, is because it's helping you to set a tone of expectation for yourself and or others. What you say yes to, what you say no to, all matters. So, for example, saying no to rest when you know your body needs it is not setting a boundary with yourself, right? It's being able to say yes to peace when someone is trying to invite you into an argument, and the boundary that you establish is that that's not where you want to be anymore when it comes to anger or irritation or even just the way people communicate, right? So setting these boundaries in a way that honors yourself and the role you play in a relationship, but also communicating it to others so that they can know how to treat you. I think the biggest part that I want you to walk away with today, especially because I'm trying to keep these under 5 minutes, is that boundaries are not about abandoning relationships. They're about making them healthy. They're about making them healthy in a way that honors both parties. And in some cases, it may mean not being in communication, not being in community. But in all cases, that doesn't have to look that way. So take the time to reset and reconsider what your boundaries are and think about it from the perspective of your whole self. What are you feeling guilty about related to boundaries? I can't speak for everyone, but sometimes it's about time. Sometimes it's about relationship and title. Other times it's just simply because you've not set any boundaries all your life. So knowing how to do it is just not familiar. And I do have a video, I think, specifically on setting boundaries. That's not what today is about. I'm just talking about them. But I want you to think about, how do I set boundaries in my life that honors my full self and keeps me connected, because I believe in community care as well as self-care. And I do think that the goal should not only be about isolating and making everything centered only on you. It should be how I do it should balance my life as well and include others in that. So start with a smaller boundary today. What can I say no to? What can I say yes to, that will honor my values, my system, my rest, whatever area that you know you're struggling in. I want you to think that through. What can I say in this moment no to? Or what could I say yes to that would increase the joy in my life? Start small, saying yes to a movie, saying no to a phone call that will create anger or hurt in your heart. Whatever the case is, I want you to look at it from that perspective. Like I said, go and check out our old video on setting boundaries. I will link it in, if you're on YouTube, I'll link it where you can actually go to it. But if not, go ahead and go over to our YouTube channel and check out how to set boundaries. In the comments, I'd love for you to tell me what one boundary you would like to start right now. If you see me next week, we'll talk a little bit about why rest is not lazy. I think that's another thing. We have the issue with how hard self-care is for us. We have an issue with being able to set those boundaries. And sometimes we can see rest as being lazy when it has nothing to do with that and your body deserves. All right, you guys be well. I will see you on the other side. Take care.